Yes, very good morning, Sangeeta. And I hope everybody is able to hear me and you are able to watch my screen. And today topic we are going to have about the technical area of BI reports and OTBI reports and different Fusion Cloud project phases we are going to talk. And after that, OEM methodology we are going to discuss. As our old batch people are asking to go ahead with the resume preparations for supply chain management as well as for the human capital management. We're expecting some tips how the profile can be prepared. So we all will be discussing about this. Okay. So this particular training session, it will be recorded and uploaded into this YouTube channel, as it is a weekend session and all our previous batch students are going to be connected to this video. It's difficult to identify the email IDs and share it. So please subscribe to our YouTube channel and access this particular demo sessions or this training session. Okay. So today the topic is how to build BI reports in Fusion applications and how to build OTBI analysis in Fusion applications. After that, what are the web services we'll be using in the cloud SaaS environment? And then we'll be talking about the different project statuses and project phases in the cloud, and also we'll find the different documents in OEM methodology. As a team member, what we are going to get, this all we are going to talk. Okay, so first, whenever we go for an Fusion environment, if we want to build the BI reports, first we have to enter into the BI intelligence environment. So how we can go for this? Go to Navigator. In the Navigator, we can see the option called My Reporting. Here we can find. And there is an option called Build a Report. Select Build Report option. Then the system will be navigated into the environment of reports and analytics here. Select this option, Create. Here we can see report means BI report we are going to build. Analysis is nothing but OTBI analysis, Oracle Transaction Business Intelligence. In BI reports, we can write our own queries. It means custom queries. Depends on the requirement. For example, in supply chain management, we would like to query the data of orders. Then we can use the order management tables. And if it is procurement, like purchase orders or requisitions or receipt documents or suppliers. So if we want to receive this data from the database, we can write custom queries and we can extract the data through BI publishing. And analysis is nothing but we have got built-in subject areas. Then we'll be able to access those subject areas. And then we can use that subject areas in OTBI and access the data from the database. Subject areas are built-in, which are defined by Oracle. Directly we can access that. Okay, so let me go for report first. So during my session, if you have any doubts, please enter in the chat window. As we have all batch people connected, it's very difficult to interact one-to-one. So whatever the doubts you have, please enter in the chat window. Thank you. And now here the system is going to ask us, do you want to build any data model directly here, and you would like to go for upload through spreadsheet. our subject area. So let's, there is some browser compatibility problem. So you have to decrease the zoom option. Let's say cancel it. Now, this is our Oracle Business Intelligence environment. In the cloud SaaS projects, will be getting the environment like this. So whether we build a HCM, human capital management, or financials, or supply chain management, this is the environment where we are going to get it. And we can see that here, right side administration and OTBI help, and dashboards, favorites, catalog, and building the new BI reports and open existing. This all we will find here. So whenever we go for new menu, I can see that analysis, dashboard, filter, dashboard prompt, condition. So this all comes under OTBI analysis. And if we want to build any mobile applications, we can build from here. As we already discussed, Fusion is compatible for desktop, tab-based, and also the mobile smartphones. So the end users can access this product from all three devices, which is compatible. And the reporting part of BI reports. So this all comes under BI reports. And this all comes OTBI dashboards. And this is our agents and actions. So once we build our OTBI reports, if it should automatically execute, then you can go for define any agent. It's like a robot defining automation type and performing the actions. Okay. It's like earlier we used to have scheduling options. Now also is there how we can schedule the BI reports or OTBI, but there is an additional advantage with the actions and agents. And there is something called marketing and performance management, which is related to the employees' performance in the HR models. We don't require those things right now. Okay. So before we enter into the Fusion BI environment, there are 4 roles we have to discuss about business intelligence. So whenever we access Oracle Fusion and Fusion BI publisher roles, there are BI consumer role, administration role. There are 4 roles we have. So these are the 4 roles we are supposed to remember before we start working with business intelligence. So our first one is BI consumer role. When we have the access to the BI consumer role, we can run business intelligence reports. So that particular user can run the BI reports. He cannot build the BI reports, development or customization. He can just go for run the BI reports. If we attach the BI author role, that user can go for create and edit the reports. You can go ahead with create and edit the reports. And BI administrator role, if you have BI administrator role, then you can perform all our administration tasks like creating and editing dashboards, modifying security permissions on your reports folders like that. And BI publisher data model developer. So in BI publisher, if you have this role, you can just go for build only the data models. You cannot go ahead with any layout options. So these are 4 roles we have. Before we start development of any BI reports with our username, make sure that do we have the access to this particular roles or not. How we can find these roles are assigned to our user or not, from where we can get it. Generally, we have to enter into the security console. We have to go to security console. Go to Navigator, security console. go to users and search for your user, whatever we have. And now here we can check the roles which are assigned for the current user. It seems only BI execution role we have. We don't have the administration role. So let me take another user called Biriyani Joseph. So if we log in with this user, Biriyani Joseph user, now we'll be able to see that here again BI administrator role is assigned, and we have other roles also assigned here. Administration role is there, that's fine. So now we'll log in with this user. So what's the username? Biriyani Joseph. That's the username. Fine. So now this user is having BI administrator role. Whenever we go for build a report from these options here, so go to Navigator Reports. Now there is an option here, administration. So go to administration to configure the destination options. So here, whenever we enter into the administration's environment, it will shows us BI version and BI server data source. And we can configure our security here, session management and maintenance and troubleshooting, marketing, manage catalog options will find. And here is our BI publisher. BI publisher is there. So here we can go for manage our data sources and schedule configurations, delivery destinations, and runtime properties of BI publisher. So from here we are going to configure. Go to manage BI publisher option. Now system will allow us, do you want to include any data sources? Like we have built-in JDBC connections, file, LDAP connection, lightweight directory access protocol, and HTTP connection, this all. And security center, we have any PGP, pretty good privacy, file data encryptions, we are going any digital signatures, we can get it from here, and delivery options. And we can also go for integrate our BI options from here. Oracle BI presentation services, we can get it, and server configurations, scheduler configurations, we can do all these options. I'm sorry. Okay, so this is related to the administration part. So whenever we go to administration tab, we'll be able to access all this. Here it is. So I'm going to build a simple report. Okay, so go to new data model, select data model. So whenever we say we want to build BI report, we can divide into two parts. One is data model, another one is layout model. So data model is mainly used to select the data from the database. We have different options. We can write our own SQL queries, or we can build one view object, or we can have some Excel cell scripts or Excel sheet script options. We can do it to select the data from data model. And we have another option called layout model. So layout model is mainly used to display the layout. So display the data, whatever we have retrieved from the database as per the client's requirement. It's layout model we have. So we have different options like RTF is there, PDF we have, and we have XLSX, and we have the e-templates, e-text templates. We have different delivery options of layout we have. So whenever we go for diagram, this is our different options to build the data model. So in most of the interviews, they will be asking like, are you working in SaaS environment or PaaS environment? If you are working in the cloud, so are you working in the SaaS or PaaS model? SaaS model is nothing but software as a service, which is public cloud. So in the SaaS model, the only place where you can connect to the database is here. We can connect to the databases here. Whenever we go for PaaS environment, platform as a service, as we have already discussed last time. So if you are working as a platform as a service, no problem. You will be getting the access to the database through database connectivity tools like Toad or PL SQL developer will be able to connect to the database and will be able to write the packages and all. But the SaaS environment, the only place where you are going to work with the database is this. So here we can write our SQL queries and extract the data from database. We can also write LDAP queries. We have MDX queries, Oracle BI analysis, XML feed, HTTP and web view objects. We can build web services, and CSV file also we can provide, Microsoft Excel file, XML file, content server. We have all the options over here. But most of the times when we are working in the Oracle Fusion BI environment as Oracle developer, we used to have the SQL queries. In case if clients are using some legacy systems and if they are giving the query in different format, we can apply it. Okay. So go to SQL query. And now it's going to ask us, do you want to build any BI enterprise entity, or you want to go for any supply chain management or human capital management or CRM, or you just connect to the Fusion database? So generally we'll be connecting to the database. We can also create our own data source. Just now I have shown you this option, right? Administration. From this particular environment, we can get it. We can create our own data source, but at this point of time, Fusion database is sufficient. Right now, I'm trying to access the supplier's data. And, do you want to go for build standard SQL, or you want to use any procedure call or non-standard SQL options? So I'm going ahead with standard SQL here. Write the query. So I just written a simple query and it's nothing but a group, and you can go for click this menu option. Again, edit data set, and we can go for modify this. And if we want to go for any performance tuning type of options, we can generate explain plan and use that plan and verify the table full scan or off scan. It's related to the performance of your query. In case if you are writing some complex queries, we'll be working out it. We can write the global level functions here. We can go for define an element expressions and all. Here it is. Okay, and we can also define the summary columns here, like report level and group level, count, minimum and maximum type of options. We can build it from here. And go to structure. Internally, system has prepared our data source, XML data source here. And we can check the sample data here, number of rows. I would like to see sample records here. In the table view format, right now it is tree view format. Let me check this in the table view format. These are 5 records we are trying to display. And we have vendor ID and vendor name and which user has created. So if you are from EBS background, 80% of the database is same. Database design is similar. And if you are new to the Fusion Cloud, for example, if somebody has entered into the Fusion Cloud from some other ERP or from some other technology, then you are supposed to understand the data model of Fusion applications. From where we can get this is very simple. All our tables we can access from here. It is. So let's go to Oracle OER, Oracle Enterprise Repository for Fusion applications. So we have to go to this particular URL. And once we go to Oracle Enterprise Repository here, now it's asking us, you are looking for an cloud applications or on-premises, looking for cloud. Now we can see that here we are in home, cloud, software as a service, SaaS environment. Okay. And we can see almost all options here: supply chain management, human capital management, ERP financials, and procurement. Because in Fusion, procurement is different. It's not part of our supply chain management. And we can see the human capital management over here. So let's say you are looking out for procurement. Here we can see procurement. And Oracle Procurement Cloud 19A, 19B, 18C. So here, so what Oracle is doing, every year, 3 times, they are going for update their product. So right now we are working with release 13. That is a version which we are working Oracle Fusion applications. Which year right now? 2019. January to April is 19A. May to August is 19B. September to December is 19. So every year, 4 months, every 4 months, what Oracle will do is they'll try to apply the patches and upgrade the product, not the version. The version changes is every 2 years or 1.5 years. It depends. If there are any major changes in the product and major things are introduced, then they'll go ahead with the new versions. But actual product in the cloud environment, every 4 months, what Oracle will do is they'll make the changes and they'll try to clear the bugs and release into the market. That's how we'll do it. So whenever we say the version of the Fusion application is release 13. So right now, which month we are in the 18th May. So obviously it goes to the 19B options. So that's what we have to understand. What is the meaning of 19 means 2019, 18 means 2018. So it's last year. So we can see, if you would like to access the previous last quarter, like last 4 months documentation changes here, and this is about our latest changes. So let's go to the books option here. So I'm just showing you how you can go for access the documentations. So how you can go for access your So if you are going for procurement or HCM, whatever you see that you can find your books. Do you want to see all the books or implementation or user guides, administration or development guide? So we can access, here it is. We can see. Now, creating a business intelligence cloud extract, BI extractions. If we want to build, we can go for, here it is. And security related development. If you want to go for data import for the module, file-based import, data loading. And if we want to go ahead with any using REST APIs and SOAP web services, and here we are right now. Here is the place. So whenever we want to build a BI reports, right now where we are working, right now we are trying to build the reports, right? So whatever the module, for example, your client is going to ask you to build a report in payroll module, then you are supposed to go to human capital management and the payroll module and try to access the tables and build the queries. That's how you are supposed to work. And if it is for procurement, then we will go for HTML options here. Now we can see that here, supplier model, supplier portal, supplier qualifications, and purchasing and procurement. Now we can see supplier model and tables. But the only thing is you will see the list of all the tables here. It will take some time to understand the tables and all. So now system is showing that this is what your table name, POZ suppliers. This table stores information about your supplier level attributes. And this is the primary key. Primary key is your vendor ID here. And we'll see other column names, segment 1, supplier number, and different columns. And if we go down, we can see the foreign tables like parent and child, other tables. So foreign keys we can see. So how you can go for join this table, POZ supplier with other tables, SZ parties, or AP GL ledgers. So what is the column name, foreign key column name? So we can find here. So when we want to join two tables, okay, whenever we would like to go for join two tables, then we are supposed to understand what is the primary key and what is the foreign key. We are supposed to understand what is primary key and foreign key. Here we can find primary foreign key relationships. Okay, fine. This I have shown you for the procurement, for supply chain management. Same way you can go ahead with HCM, human capital management, Oracle Fusion, HCM tables. This way also we can go ahead with that. Tables. Now the system is going to ask you exactly which module. So here we can see release 13 version, update 18C. Generally in the release database point of view, we don't find much changes in 18C or 18B or 19A type of things. Okay, but still we can go ahead with the latest version always. For example, if you are going to build the reports in payroll module, so to understand the payroll module tables, we can find here, let's say element tables, element links tables, and element calculations, element types tables. That's all we can find here. If you want to go for employee data, so you would like to access employee information, so then we have to go for global HR. This is GHR, global human resource. We'll find the employee information over here for all people F, and per persons, person ID is the primary key here. So this all we will find over here. Okay, So this is how you can go for understand the database and data model like tables and primary foreign keys, and you can start writing the queries. So it's very user friendly if you are good in SQL, and it's not big task to build the queries and perform it. Okay. Yes, Balaji. Which type of document we used for design BI reports? This will be using the like RTF document for BI will be using. We can also go ahead with e-text templates. Depends. Okay, it's a general BI publisher which we'll be using in our applications. Okay, so OEM methodology will be discussing. We'll talk about the OEM methodology options, BI reports, OEM methodology. We'll discuss about that. Next level, we'll be discussing about. I think BI template is not installed in my system. Let me install that. So, fine. So now if we want to go for modify the query, we can do it from here. So let's say I would like to go for only few columns I'm selecting for easy understanding. Select vendor ID, segment 1, created by creation date. So 4 columns we have selected, view menu, and we can see the data here. This is, and we can go for save as sample data and go for save this data model. So whenever we try to save this data model, system is going to ask us, do you want to save this data model in the my folders or in the shared folders? What is the difference between these two is, if you save your report in my folder, only current user can access. Other users cannot access this. If you go for shared folders, everybody can access this. And there is a separate methodology where we can configure who can access also again. So we can restrict this folder can be accessible by only these users or this particular role users. Like that we can configure. We'll discuss that. Most of the times when we are working in the project, we'll be using the shared folders. And go to custom folder. And here we can go ahead with creating our own folder. Depends on the requirement. So I'm creating separate folder called iOmega folder. So and I'm going to mention the name of the folder. Supplier data model. So one step is completed successfully in the BI reports. So we are able to build the data model and it is saved. Where can I see this data model? Go to catalog, or we can go to home page. So go to catalog and we can see that environment here. So whenever we go to shared folders, custom, and select your folder, iOmega, right? Go to this, expand. Now I can see this, my data model, and the symbol itself, it will shows you it's a data model. It's a data model. And if you want to modify your data model, here it is, edit option, and we can see current user. And if you want to go for give the permission, this data model should be modified by so and so user, not other users. We can go to permissions. go to permissions option. Here we'll be able to do this. And you can go for, you can see that the people who are having the access to this particular role, whatever the role are there, they can do it. And there is some permissions. You are giving full control to the users, or modify the report, or open, or just schedule the report, or somebody can just view the output and no access. You can also create your own custom, your own permissions. Here it is, and we can attach that options. Okay, so then after that you want to give this access to the subfolders also then, and this is the location and owner of this. Here we can go for add username and other details can be assigned. So this is how we can go for provide the access, means permissions to the users. Permissions to the users, we can go ahead with that option. Okay, yes, you can go for create your own username. So if you want to build a reports, okay, if you want to build new reports, BI author role is sufficient to create a report and run it. But I would like to configure some administrator, then go for BI administrator. I would like to go for this BI consumer. These roles we can attach to our username and start working. And we can start working options. Okay, so data model is completed successfully. Now we are going for layout model. New menu. This is what we have done. So this all 5 options are related to the BI publish. This all 5 options related to BI publish. Now we did data model. Then we are going for report. So we are trying to build the BI report now. Now we are trying to build BI report. Here it is. So whenever we go for BI report here, now system is going to ask me. Now system is going to ask me, what is your data model? What is your data model? Do you want to create new data model now? Or data model is already created, you would like to go for search. Our data model is already created, you would like to go for search. So I'm going to say search the data model, because we have already created data model. Let's go for this. So this is the data model we have selected, and it's showing us the path also. Then we are going to create a layout here. So you want to go for create layout. If you want to use some basic templates and design the layout here itself, we can do it. We can choose the portrait blank landscape option, and we can also have header and footer with portrait, header and footer with landscape. So any of this option if you want to go for. And if we say no, I don't want to use these templates, I don't want to design my layout here, I would like to go for generate my layout outside. Outside means you can go for using your MS Word or PDF or e-text templates, that we can go for it. And then we can go for upload that, either RTF file or PDF or Excel sheet or Flash Excel sheets or e-text. Any of these methods we can go for upload, and we can go for save the report. So whenever we say the report is BI report is a combination of 2 things. One is data model, another one is a layout. Data model is nothing but selecting the data from the database, as we have already done this here, and we have selected. And now it's asking us to go for build a layout. So you want to go for upload your layout, or there is an option here, generate your RTF layout based on the selected data model. So if you want to go for any built-in RTF template, system will automatically do this. System will automatically generate the RTF layout. So generally, if it is simple, like normal format, we can go for this method. If there are something called master detail having some summary columns and formula columns at report level and group level and page wise, we would like to have some designing for the layout, then we will go for upload. So you have to design your layout outside and go for upload it. And if it is simple, then you can go for generate your template directly. So I'm going for template one. Generate. System is going to generate the template, RTF template, based on your data model. Here. Now this is our data model and this is our layout model. And I'm going to save this BI report. Okay, and let me go to catalog and check two things will be there. One is data model. See, this is your report. You can see the icon. The moment when we see the icon, we can understand it's a report. And this is our data model. And the report you can open. It means directly you can run this report. And if you want to modify this, it can be modified. And obviously we have schedule. You can go for schedule this BI report. And you want to see the history, how many times we executed previous options, and you can always add to the favorites, means this place it will be available. And if you want to go for create a shortcut, we can create it, comes into your home page. And then if you would like to go for archive this report, then we can do it. And properties will shows us the path of the report and name of the report, where exactly it is located, and who is the author of this particular report, and what is the extension. And permissions, just now we discussed, same way we will be finding the permissions. Okay, so this is how we can go for build a report. Now let me go for open this option here. And we can see the output over here. Report is completed, and this is the report output. And if we want to generate the output in PDF, we can choose different options here. So you can see the RTF template is downloaded here. Okay, so if you want to run the report, generally whenever we go to catalog, in catalog we can see the report here and go to more option and go for, sorry, not more option, directly we'll go to open. Directly we'll go to open. And if we want to go for schedule this particular report, we can go for schedule option. Whenever we go for scheduling these options,